Hey everybody. Man, today is a beautiful day. The energy is high. I'm feeling good. Anybody or everybody who actually knows me knows that, and I've said it a couple times on videos as well, that when I'm in the shower, I do like either shower meditations or something about water for me is something that allows for free form thought to just flow. And so this morning, I was thinking about how in 2008, because I always like to kind of look to see where I am right now, and I'm like, oh my God, this is such an amazing place to be in, and, kind of look back to some things that, happened. So anyway, in 2008, I was working at this job. I was loving this job. It wasn't my dream job because I don't think back then I really understood working in your purpose and having that thing that you most dreamed about doing. I think a lot of times, most of us, we live and breathe in survival mode, or we do things that we see other people do and they are either successful at it and we think that we could do it too, but it's not always our purpose to do. Saying that though, in 2008, I had gotten fired. I was working at this job. I was probably making about $23 an hour. I was in a good space financially. I was, loving what I was doing because I was helping other people. I was a supervisor. But at the time, I was dating someone who actually worked there at the job with me. I was trying to do it where no one else knew. But, of course, sometimes people can just see what's going on, especially when your person that you're kind of dating is having a little issue sometimes with people, Anyway, but that's not why we got fired. We got fired, though. We both got fired. And this is the first time and the only time I've ever gotten fired before. And I got fired. It had nothing to do, like they made up the story about the computer system or something, like we sabotaged the computer system, like both of us. So we knew what that was about. So anyway, that was such a devastating time for me. And I was looking back at that time and saying, oh my God, I can't believe I was so devastated. But I was so devastated, by that particular thing. It was like February 12th of 2008. Like I still won't forget it, But at the same time, I'm able to look at it from a whole happy, like I'm glad I got fired, state of mind. But then I did not. I was literally devastated by it. We had just moved together. And at that particular time, I was paying all the bills. And so when that happened, I was thinking to myself, like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And so I was applying for any and everything, trying to see what it is that I was good at. It did make me think about, okay, so what is it that you really want to do now? This is an opportunity for you to do something now, but at the same time, really afraid because I've always been in this particular business since I was probably about, 28 years old, like 20, no, it was longer than that. Somewhere in my early 20s, I had been doing this particular type of job since then. And so I was, in this space of, okay, a part of me was saying that you could do something different, but at the same time, a part of me was afraid, I could totally get people who have lost their jobs and who are already like living paycheck to paycheck. Bills are coming, you got to feed your kids, all these different things. At the time, my partner and her son were living with me. And so it was kind of devastating for me in the sense of, I had done so much. Like, I was, you need help? You need help? Like running myself ragged for that particular job. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I cannot believe they fired me. And on top of that, like they did it in such a bogus way. Like instead of, of course they couldn't come out and say there was no rules that you couldn't date the person, date somebody, in your department or even on that very same job. There was no rules about that. But at the same time, they did not say that, and it was very hurtful because I loved what I was doing at the time. I loved the people that I was working with. And so it was very devastating for me. I would wake up, after that, like just really like grinding my teeth, like, because I was under so much stress. And so like we got fired on the 12th, and then on the 14th it was Valentine's Day, and thank God that my partner had already like did this whole beautiful thing, but at the same time we couldn't really enjoy it because we both were fired, you know. So we really couldn't enjoy it. She had gotten this beautiful hotel room, Valentine's Day. It was a beautiful room at the MGM Grand. It was great, but I could not really enjoy myself. It was like, yeah, having a good time. And really was not. I mean, it was so bad. I'm going to even share something really deep with you guys. We were like making love, and I was crying. Like, not crying because it was so good. I was crying because I lost my job. I couldn't even think about what's going on. It was crazy. I'm laughing about it now, but it was crazy then. So it just goes to show you how much we put into these jobs and put into these things. And I was thinking about while I was in the shower how that I was so devastated at that time. And who knew even weeks later that I would, even though I was trying different things, I had signed on to school for something that I had never done before, and I actually aced it. I did really well in it. I also started working at this lawn care company. I did anything, you know, just to try and see where it is that I, you know, could go, and was trying to make money at the same time. Because again, at that particular time, you know, I was actually the one who was paying all the bills at that time. So anyway, I finally, some weeks go by, and I get a job at another place that I ended up staying for like 6 years. But I thought about how that I've always, you know, pretty much lived in survival mode. And had I not, you know, had I long ago known like my natal chart and knew who it was that I am, I could have been really focusing in the area that I'm supposed to be focusing on. I was thinking too about how that I've worked on jobs where people were so negative. I mean, I worked at this place, and you could feel the energy from the time that you walk in the door. The energy was just so heavy and so negative. The people there were complaining about any and everything. The day, it's Monday, it's Wednesday, it's Friday, just anything. Complaining, just about anything. And then they were all, the place was so small, but everybody was like, you know, throwing everybody under the bus. Like, it was really crazy. I've never seen anything like it. And so because I used to come in really early, I used to have to be like, you know, praying. I used to like be walking around and just, you know, trying to clear the energy so that when they came in, you know, at least we'd have some goodness. And it was so bad that, you know, certain people would come in the room and you're trying to fight off their just negative. And now their face might be saying good morning, but their energy is so heavy that even when they say good morning, it's not a good morning for them, you know. And I can understand some people are really trying and things of that nature, but most times these people were just, it was the energy in that place was just feeding off of each other. People are unhappy doing jobs, and they would say it all the time. I hate my job. I hate my life. And like, I'd be like, you don't hate your job. You don't hate your life. Maybe this is not the thing for you, but people tend to do things because, again, they see other people doing it. Well, I should get into that field because it's good money, you know, and never really understand the full scope of what it is that you have to do. And not even being purpose to do that. So yes, you would be angry. Yes, you would be frustrated because you're doing something that you're not supposed to be doing. And so that kind of goes back to why I am really into astrology and why I believe in getting your natal chart and understanding what your real purpose and focus is and what you should be working on in this lifetime. And just knowing more about yourself from, you know, your Venus, you know, how the way that you love and the things that you love. And to learn, you know, about your sun sign and how you really are as a person, and your rising sign and your moon sign, to know how you flow emotionally. These things are important because a lot of times we're just walking around reacting, you know, we're reacting off of other people's actions, you know, or things that happen to us. And then we, you know, it's crazy. It's really crazy. But anyway, thank you for indulging me. I've been really thinking about a lot of things and how that if we knew who it is that we were, that we would be able to be I won't say better people. We'd be more self-aware of who it is that we are, and then we could perform better. Anyway, deuces. Peace out. Know yourself. Get your birth chart. Subscribe to my channel. Like it, share it, all of that. And ring the bell so that you are aware of every video that I publish. I'm going to be doing lots more videos, so subscribe.